Okay, guys, so today we got Linus Tech over here, and the reason why he hates tech, let's check it out. One might say that it might be the prices, the overpriced products that we've been given for every iteration that provides literally small incremental changes to the product we are consuming, such as iPhone. Perhaps that one could be one of the issues.
You know what really grinds my gears? Microsoft single sign-on. Every si-
What are you, sorry, I didn't catch that.
You know what really grinds my gears? Microsoft single sign-on.
Sign on. I don't even know that.
Every single time I sign into my Teams account, it asks me, do you want to let your organization manage your device? Do you want to sign in?
Oh, this bullshit. Oh, he's talking about the sign on Windows. Bro, this is the most bullshit ass app ever. It doesn't work properly. I used to work at a company where they required Microsoft sign on. 99% of the time it wouldn't work. I had to waste 1 hour to look for the credential for the fifth type of credential for this sign on. Microsoft sign on is broken. Most of the time it wouldn't work even if you input the proper credentials, and now then you have to talk with 10 more departments to get it right.
System-wide? No, I don't want to do either of those things. And while I would simply check, don't ask me again, that's not an option. This, my friends, is the kind of obtuse nonsense that makes me want to scream into a pillow.
No, the Windows sign-on is one of the most cancer sign-ons I ever encountered in my life. It's so depressing to work with that bullshit.
Renounce technology altogether and adopt the simple ways of the Amish. But that would make it really hard to do my job. So instead, we've decided to vent our rage in the best way we know how, by making a sequel. That's right, it's Tech Gripes Part 2 Electric Boogaloo, complete with an angry segue to our sponsor.
Nexigo, they got a ton of stuff on sale until July 18th, like the feature-rich Hello Pro webcam or the Aurora Pro.
You know what's a good one? Logitech. These ones are, I got one for myself, the ones I'm using right now. It's pretty good.
4K projector at their lowest price since launch. Check out the sale today using our link in the description.
If you're a motherboard manufacturer and you claim that you have toolless M.2 SSD mounts,
Simple locking mechanisms to secure an SSD with no need of specific tools. Oh man, don't tell me that they're lying.
that's super cool. But if I have to use a screwdriver to remove a heatsink to get at your toolless mounts, that's not toolless. There are at least two tools involved: my screwdriver and the marketing genius who made that claim. I gotta at least give them credit for the effort though. When it comes to PCIe locks, the industry doesn't even seem to care that they suck. Modern graphics cards and CPU coolers are often huge, which can make removing your GPU a legitimately risky operation. See,
Yeah.
sometimes
Bro, every time I want, because I had a few instances where my laptop wouldn't stop functioning and I had to open it up, bro. That's like opening your hardware is just is so messy. So messy. You don't understand what's going on. Also, if you don't have like a bit of a skill in this thing, a bit of history with this tech hardware bullshit, you're just gonna be lost. Like Linus is not having any issue, and he's frustrated. Imagine me, a common peasant that has no fucking clue. I'm screw driving everything. I'm like, it still doesn't work. What the hell is going on? Why is the laptop so hard to open up and look if everything is fine? Why are they making it so difficult? That's my question.
a nearby tool that can reach that release tab
It's ridiculous.
is the aforementioned screwdriver. And if you happen to slip off the plastic tab, which is super easy to do, you can gouge your motherboard. My go-to trick then, at least until those little buttons start being a standard feature, rather than a premium feature, is to use a pencil eraser. It's less likely to slip, and if it does, hey, it's not gonna brick your hardware. Probably. And how about case windows? There's plenty of cases out there with glass panels that show off your sick rig, but woe is he who dares to dream of a PC tower on the left of the monitor. And the funniest thing about this one is that multiple attempts have been made, even by Intel, to standardize this kind of window on the right side of the case witchcraft, and yet there are still very few options out there for our sinistral friends. NVIDIA has changed their model numbering over the years to make it nearly impossible.
I mean, I have a PC, my PC is with the window on the left. What does it matter? Does it matter?
To compare the performance of their desktop cards and their laptop ones, and even made it impossible to compare one laptop to another, even if they have the same model, because performance varies wildly with different power and cooling solutions. Ah!
Yeah, it's very hard to gauge the performance of a PC. So it's always good when you want to buy something that is expensive, such as a PC or a laptop. You always go on YouTube, and Linus Tech obviously is one of these channels that provide very in-depth reviews on the performance of a PC, and that's very helpful. Or also you have the card, like the processor, they have different names also, and also the graphic cards, which are also another aspect that you gotta look into to see how good they are, because you might have a good processor but a shit card, which means if you are for the tool for the objectives you want, if you want to play gaming, that's a bad combo, right? And one thing that frustrates me is that you have to make so much research before you buy some shit. It's like, oh, come on, just can it just be good? Can it just be good?
You thought you missed Lime Day? Wrong! Ah! We found some more cuts to make. If you buy a desk pad, you can get a Razer Death Adder Essential Mouse for free when you add both to cart. Snag our brand new WAN backpack.
It's good that the mouse was with a cable, because I'm a cable guy. I hate, and I just want you guys, who of you likes Bluetooth wireless devices? It's just, to me, I got PTSD after one of my, you have to put that bullshit that connects the the Bluetooth to your to your laptop / desktop, and it got stuck inside it. I couldn't take it out anymore, and it just got stuck in there, and I was like, okay, it's fucked now. The USB port is fucked forever. I don't want to do that no more.
And we'll load it up with either a Corsair Thunderbolt 3 dock or a K70 Core TKL keyboard for free.
Fancy.
Save $15 on our iconic double-wall vacuum-insulated water bottles. Killer deals, right? And best of all, you get free shipping on every order over $175 US if you're on the US site, and every order over 250 Canadian dollars if you're shopping from anywhere else. So hurry! Visit lmg.gg/lime. The clock's ticking.
Windows or Steam or someone other than me needs to stop letting developers just put files wherever the hell they want. All my games should go into a games folder, but no, everyone's gonna put their own stuff.
Oh, I know what she's talking about. The Steam apps bullshit. Bro, if you wanna find your save files for a game, you gotta become like developer mode. You gotta be really technical, headed to understand what's going on. Like, you put the game somewhere, but then somewhere else in Steam, it goes also there for some reason, and you're like, why is that?
Wherever the hell they think it should go. Except for me, apparently, because I swear to God, Microsoft, you need to stop automatically saving my shit to OneDrive. Don't ever do it. My files are
OneDrive is even worse. Damn, that
my files, and it is incredibly important that I know where those files are. Should they be backed up? Absolutely. But I'm not going to back them up to your overpriced, hella slow, confusingly integrated stack of crap that is a cloud service. Yes, of course, offer the service, and of course we should encourage users to back their files up, but let me specify which folders are backed up, and don't trick me into putting them elsewhere. Also, maybe actually back them up. Now, one would think that they could use the tool called Windows Backup to back up their files. Only one problem. It does not back up Windows. It uploads some files to OneDrive, and that isn't really a true backup. OneDrive is a file sync. When you put files on OneDrive, the original files are on Microsoft servers, and what you have on your device is a copy of those. If you delete the files in your OneDrive, accidentally or otherwise, they are deleted everywhere. That is not how a backup works, so stop referring to it as a backup service. Sure, for the
Also, it's deletes you on your desktop as well. They are the OneDrives, the cloud ones. Let me tell you, I worked with SharePoint in my business back in the day. An absolute shit show. An absolute shit show. Fuck that bullshit. So confusing.
average person, file sync is akin to backup because you now have 2 copies of your data in 2 locations, and you can access the files at the second location should you lose access to the first. But a true backup will keep a copy of a system and files as it was at a specific point in time. To its credit, OneDrive does provide version history for documents, but when people's data is at stake, Microsoft, you need to be clear that OneDrive is not for backing up files or Windows, it is for synchronization. So why do you call it Windows Backup? And why is it on by default? And why do you never explain anything to the customers about how the service functions, except for maybe how to pay for it, which you're very good at providing ample
For sure.
information about. Plus, you do the intentionally confusing thing of making the folder appear like a local folder rather than clearly making it a sync folder or a cloud folder. You make it purposefully confusing and it is causing harm to your own customers. Let's get back to backups though.
They gotta figure out a better way to, describe what their product is doing in a coherent way so that the problem is, in the long term, this will affect their business model, because if people don't understand, they are confused, they will not suggest this feature to their peers. So this will harm overall the process, right? You gotta make sure that what you offer is good quality, so that will increase your sales overall through, through word of mouth, right? That's also a way to market your product. If your product is good and it's easy to understand, that will be the best. Whilst the product is good in what the goal this achieves, it's confusing to use. And that's a big issue that Microsoft needs to adjust. Rather than me watching 100 Stack Overflow posts about how to fix this bullshit.
Why can't you provide me an image creation option? Just let me clone my drive to an external disk and then let me reinstall it when I need to. Why can't you at least provide one good local option where I don't have to use a Microsoft account? No, instead I must install a third-party software because you have refused to provide a half-decent option for simple backup.
Oh, you also need to... No.
And you had one. You technically still do. In the control panel, we have the now deprecated backup and restore Windows 7. It works great when it's creating and backing up your files, but it fails to restore my image every time I've tried to use it. And if you can't get your files, then they are not backed up. But let's
Images are very important to back up. Like my sister, she lost all her data on her micro SD on her phone. For some reason it got burned. And because she bought a cheap one, and she got really mad about it because all her images and videos were lost. So, people actually care about this.
zoom out here. There's another problem with backup services. What the f do I do when I've backed up my data? Almost all of these services provide a reassuring, your data is safe, but do a poor job of instructing users on how to actually restore that data. And as I said,
Very
data that
bad.
you can't access isn't backed up. I'm gonna be honest, I've made this exact mistake. I put a new install of Windows and realized that I can't access the files I thought I had saved. I think that every backup software should do something to make you run through the process of restoring your files and using a rescue media at least once. Or at least give a very demanding notice that I can click away through and complain about in a future video, but just put it there, please. If you are in search of
What is going up with people then blackmail nails? Like what is this? Like I've started seeing more and more dudes doing this. Isn't this just weird? What is this bullshit? What is this trend? I'm telling you, man, it's so weird. Look. The fuck is this? Are you a lady?
there, please. If you are in search of actually good
And I'm pretty sure he's not, gay or anything. This is just a trend nowadays. I'm like, what the fuck? What are those trends, bro?
backup software, I will recommend Veeam, Macroom Reflect, and Your Backup in that order. I personally use Your Backup, but that's because it meets my needs check them out and see what they can do for you.
Stop
Now,
planting
before my
your
blood pressure gets
hands.
too
Look,
high,
I don't
I'm gonna
have
a couple
anything.
more gripes. This version of the file picker, Gulag. File Explorer's unfathomably slow search, Gulag. The way I can't think of another thing to complain about right now, straight to the Gulag.
I've really been enjoying my Switch 2 over the last couple weeks.
Oh yeah, let's go. Nintendo Switch 2 and their price gouges. Okay, let's
Even
go.
after breaking my hand, but I've been getting more and more pissed off about a few underhanded design decisions that Nintendo thought they could get away with. First off,
The accessories, overpriced accessories, $50 for their camera is ridiculous. They're fucking, they just wanna, they slapped you in the face with their dick and they say pay up. That's ridiculous.
the dock. Well, the docking situation. The new dock itself is fine. It's the fact that third-party docks that worked with the OG no longer work because, as The Verge put it in their investigation, the new Switch is not behaving like a good USB citizen should. Nintendo has purposefully made their universal serial bus device less universal by adding extra encryption to sell more of their $120
No way.
accessory. Encryption to sell more.
Nintendo Switch 2 dock set. You gotta add all the bullshit? Really?
Of their $120
Bro, Nintendo, their games are solid. Their products are solid. But the way they sell them is scummy as fuck.
accessory. Right off with that greedy shit. Should be like 50, 60 tops. I ordered the anti.
Have you seen their controllers? Every console controller ever is $60. But for some reason, Nintendo Switch, the one console that you actually need that controller because you don't want to use this shit on the sides. It's really bad. The shits on the side, they are no good. Especially like you want a controller if it's in the dock, right? You don't use this, like it's no good. So the controller is more expensive than any other like Sony or Xbox. Like why?
Attack S3 Max for 42 Canadian buckaroos that supposedly works for now. At least until Nintendo updates the firmware to up incompatibility once again. And it's especially infuriating because I can't get the Nintendo dock to work with any other USB-C power blocks in my house. The dock requires more power this time around, but I tried some very nice PD blocks that have variable voltages that go way above the requirement of the dock, and they would only charge the console. I would not get video out until I used Nintendo's own USB block.
Oh my god, what is this bullshit? They need to buy, you need to buy that one, you need to buy this one. Guys, you also need to buy the head with Nintendo, okay? Otherwise your USB controller, it has like a, you have those movies with eye recognition, where you have to put your eyes like this. They have the same, but with for the head, guys, and you need to have the head if you want to make your dock USB that works with the dock work. Okay, guys, keep in mind. That's very important.
And that's beside the fact that it's always really scary plugging any non-Nintendo things into Nintendo things. I remember the early Switch 1 horror stories, and that just exacerbates.
Yeah, they still do that. In Europe, they're not allowed to. So Europe, I don't know why America, US is so slow on the uptake with gaming legislation. They should, like step up your game. What the hell? Why are you behind on that for some reason?
It's the bigger issue. In general, the first-party accessory pricing
85
is out of control.
For
The controllers
charging-
are a clear step down versus their competition, and
Look, see, I'm talking to look what I'm looking at. Why are they so expensive?
cost just as much,
Just as much? More.
if not more. I want to buy your shit, Nintendo. Just not at these prices. This is fucking absurd.
Nintendo do be tripping. They know that we want to buy that, so they're like dingling the keys and say, hey, those keys are usually worth $20, but you can have them for 50 from us. Because it's Nintendo. We put up the brand Nintendo on them, you know what I mean?
Especially
Stupid and scummy and ridiculous. Like I'm surprised that nobody is trash talking them constantly for this. Like there is not an uproar in the gaming community about this. This is literally like They are just they are.
Actually, because it's become clear that Nintendo has done nothing to address the Joy-Con drift issues. I
Joy-Cons
guess
are
I'll be
still
rolling
shit.
the dice on third-party accessories once again. But third-party accessories are imperfect. Take the Kill Switch 2 ecosystem, for example. It's really not ideal. Personally, I like the grips. I don't have the Joy-Con self-removal issue. I like the case, I like the cover. But the dock is unacceptably bad. It's a markedly jankier experience than the Nintendo dock alone. My dock is behind my TV, and reaching back there with one hand is easy, but getting both back there fucking sucks. The D-brand to Switch connector is tighter than the dock to dock connector, which means that every time you try and pull out the Switch 2, half of the docking solution comes with it, unless I hold it down. And that's if it fucking works in the first place. I actually bought one and have stopped using it. Other than the Joy-Con grips, I actually like those. They're pretty good for handheld play, except that in handheld play, the motion clarity on the built-in screen, not so great. I think that the online rage is a little overblown with the hyperfixation on some of the numbers that have come out from testing. When you're panning across a busy scene, it's not nearly as clear as a 2025 display should be. This would not have been an issue on an OLED console, which just makes me so mad they didn't have one at launch. Even if that meant giving up variable refresh rate on a console where most of the games are gonna be.
I had another rant from my side. Why do they have a different version with a better screen? Like, why? Can you just make that the default version? Why now I gotta go through this? I buy this one, and like he said at the beginning, I buy this one. Then I say, this is not that good. Let me buy the next version. So you have two versions that literally do the same goal. The only difference is one has better screen. The other one, what do you do it? You have to sell it, right? Because there's no point.
Locked at 60 FPS anyway because the dock can't do variable refresh rate. The damn dock again! Ah! Also, the HDMI-C, where your device can communicate with your TV and plugged-in accessories, seems to be inconsistent as all heck. Sometimes turning on my Switch turns on my TV and soundbar, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it can't figure out the I/O. Unacceptable for a modern device. My PS5 and my PS4, a 12-year-old device.
Yeah, no, Nintendo Switch and their HDMIs and all that bullshit. They can't figure it out for some reason. They cannot just copy over the model from PlayStation. No, they gotta make it confusing, annoying, and bullshit.
Can turn on everything, change the correct settings every freaking time. Figure it out, Nintendo. And maybe the worst part, these game prices are ridiculous.
Let's talk about the gaming prices. Why the fuck is Mario Kart World $80? Why is it $80? I'm gonna shoot. Why are you $80, bro? Yeah, there. Why are you $80? Can someone explain to me why a fucking car game is $80? Cause it has Mario in it? Are you fucking kidding me? I know why it has $80. I know why. Because they want you to sell this game with the console, and they say, you got a discount on this and it's $50, which in my opinion, that's the price it should be by default. That's the value it provides. It's a fucking car game. The only thing you do is you play a few races and then you get bored.
And I'm not talking just for
Cyberpunk 2077, which is on a sale for like $20 on Steam on your PC, is for some reason $70 on the Nintendo Switch 2. Just and has a bunch of optimization issues. Why would you do that?
versus PC games, but against other console storefronts. Totally frustrating. And not just the $80 games. I want to play the Xenoblade trilogy with the DLC. I have to spend like $200, and that's the fucking sale price. If I want to play the trash golf and tennis game that nobody thinks is actually good, I'm stuck spending $60, maybe $50.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Where are the discounts from Nintendo? Big discounts. This game nobody's playing. Put it at $20, man.
55 if I'm willing to go for a used cartridge. But like the used market is absolutely fucking trash too.
No, that's the issue I have with Nintendo, the Nintendo games. Even if you sell them, everybody's asking for at least $40 for a game that nobody's playing.
Switch games are ridiculous. This whole thing is fucking ridiculous. I have like a list of games that I missed on the Switch 1 that I really want to collect, but I'm losing confidence that I'm gonna ever own most of them. Also, get some damn media apps on your fucking console. It's 2025 for fuck's sake.
Just because I own a display, that doesn't mean I love everything about them. For instance, have you ever struggled with navigating through the OSD, found the setting you wanted to adjust?
Oh man. So I was watching this finals for the World Cup with my friend. He came over and I was like, okay, the sound on this is kind of low. And I had these 4 buttons over there, and oh my god, we stayed there for like 10 minutes. So I was like, okay, let me click band the buttons and random, and eventually we figured it out. I was like, why is this so complicated?
And then press the power button by mistake?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
maybe a button that closes the OSD. I sure have, and it absolutely sucks. But hang on, OSD.
So basically he's talking about how frustrating those systems are, which they are. I'm not gonna lie, like the buttons that do the LED, the monitor thingy, why are they so stupid? Why are they so, like how hard is it to figure it out?
Because I'm not done with you yet. Why is it that some companies make it a hassle to switch inputs when there's nothing connected? I know HDMI 1 is empty, I don't care, I'm troubleshooting, let me select it. And why doesn't everyone have an option to leave the OSD on screen instead of keeping it on a timer? This is probably a me problem, but sometimes it goes away right when I'm done referencing my notes to remember which exact setting I wanted to adjust. I'm also annoyed by barrel plugs and external power bricks. If you're gonna use them, that's fine.
External power bricks, the thing is, those have cables that could get fucked over time, and once they're fucked, you gotta find, and this is a big thing that I learned from experience. If you don't use the same charger you used for your laptop, it will break it. It will break it. I used a different charger for my laptop after the previous one got fucked. It stopped working. And apparently I googled it, it was because of the charger. I was like, what? So my laptop wouldn't start anymore because it got so fucked, because I used a cheaper charger that would be universal. But apparently, no. You gotta find exactly the charger that is for that model. That's very frustrating in my opinion. And the fact that people don't tell you that that would break your PC unless you search for it very specifically, it's then right ridiculous.
Some people prefer them even, but please make the cable longer so the brick can easily sit on the floor and not be stuck dangling.
Oh yeah, this one, that's just like OCD is activating. You're like, what the fuck am I looking at? Why would you do that?
Playing from the back of my display. I shouldn't be required to cable manage it to the underside of my desk with MCM from LTTstore.com. I'm going to anyway because it looks great and it's a good product, but don't force my hand. And speaking of cables, how about HDMI and DisplayPort? Why do we still have both? I get the competition is a good thing, but they're both so similar now. I love the daisy chaining capabilities of DP, but eARC and auto low latency mode are really nice features for home theaters, especially now that recent versions on either side.
I never understood the difference between HDMI and DP. I'm like, why do you have this? Why do I have this? I had to use it for the first time, the DP port, because my fucking desktop for some reason doesn't have 2 HDMI ports that work, only one. So I had to use the DP ports as well, and I'm like, why? Why do I gotta do that? For my screens, obviously, because I have 2 monitors for stream setup. I'm like, why? Why you gotta do this to me?
Have pretty high bandwidth limits. With
Ridiculous.
More on the way, either combine your powers or convince GPU manufacturers to please add more HDMI ports for the rare occasion where I want to use HDMI 2.1 on more than one display. I mean,
bro. True. Like more HDMI, more than one, please, at least.
Hey, what if one of them's a TV and the other one is just a really high refresh rate monitor that supports HDMI 2.1 but DisplayPort 1.4? Why can't I have both? I don't want to
Ridiculous.
spend even more money on a high-end Asus GPU just because it's got a second HDMI.
Bro, if I have to buy more stuff, I'm just gonna hit my head on the wall instead. Thank you, no thank you. This is stupid. It's stupid!
Port. I really don't. And on that subject, can someone implement a sort of HDMI signal interrupter? Or if I'm ignorant, please help me in the comments, because keeping a TV plugged in as part of your multi-monitor setup can cause some serious annoyances if the TV gets turned on for Netflix while I'm gaming on my PC. It's so annoying that I just unplug the cable on either end when I'm done playing on the big screen, and I just don't want to do that anymore.
For me, I'm going to be talking about my beloved Discord. Man, you used to be so great. You were a free-to-use amalgamation of RSS chat rooms.
The only issue I have with Discord is their goddamn share screen feature is just bricky as fuck.
Rooms and voice calling with just a slight gaming flavor. It used to be so good. But now, you are constantly shoving Nitro and your shop
Oh, this bullshit is so...
down my throat. Those are permanently pinned at the top of the software anytime I go look at my DMs.
I mean, this is what happens with any successful app. You know, at first it's super cool and accessible to everybody, like YouTube used to be. And then every time you open a video right nowadays, boom, you got an ad. Ad blocker don't work anymore. They fixed that issue, am I right? Then they made it not one ad, two unskippable ads. And all of the, and some of them, there is also those ads that are like, if you don't skip them, they're just gonna keep playing for 1 hour. Like I fell asleep while I was watching a video, and then I woke up to this ad that was keep going for like 30 minutes. It's ridiculous.
Or when I use an emoji, you are constantly reminding me how poor I am because I could use any emote from any server if I just paid more. I can type as much as I want, so long as it's less than
2,000
characters. You gotta pay for that too. You've gone from adding value to extracting convenience, and now Nitro
Exactly.
sucks. And while we get update after update, my problems never seem to get
Oh, Discord has another issue. Every time it is updating, it kind of stops working for some reason. If you haven't used it for a while, it just keeps, like, you gotta uninstall and install it again. This is very frustrating. Like, fix that shit. I don't want to install this fucking 10 times. It's ridiculous.
fixed. Every time I restart some systems, such as my work PC, it asks me if I want to adjust my audio devices. Nope. Keep them to what I set, please. I have no idea why you keep asking me, especially after I hit the "Don't show me this again" button. As for the UI update, I actually don't personally hate it, but some of the mobile experience is just downright awful. I went to use an external link the other day, and it asked if I was okay following it. That's fair enough, keep users safe, but what the hell is this interface? I didn't even realize that I had to actually scroll down because the
Oh
scroll
my
bar
god, that looks horrendous. What is this pop-up, bro? Bro, they let it for the beginner developers in their company to handle this. Like a link, a checkbox, and the actual important buttons are not visible. This is design failure 101. I'm sorry, this is unacceptable.
doesn't light up until I try to scroll. But there's nothing slightly cut off in the window to indicate that there is more to view. So why would I even bother trying that? But my biggest issue with Discord is something that I don't actually expect them to fix, because it's not really their fault. Discord servers are a terrible way to store knowledge. If you make a piece of software and you use Discord instead of a Git or a wiki, you're an idiot. Plain and simple. So much knowledge is being lost in these Discord servers that are unindexable, hard to use, and have communities that end up being the same 3 people just answering the same 20 questions for every new user. Discord is not documentation, and the more we migrate our communication away from public forums, the worse we're gonna be in a few more years.
Okay, we probably went a little hard today, but can you blame us when you're having a bad day? The last
You
thing
went
that-
hard. You went hard when you trash talk Nintendo for the right reason. When you trash talk Discord for that UI disaster on phones, mind you, which Discord is used on phones quite a lot. You know what I mean? It's those are normal, common sense, you know, rants that I think companies should pay attention more to them, because if they don't, eventually the customers are just gonna go to the competitors who basically do the same shit you do, but also take care of those issues.
You want to deal with is some easily solved problem that you've encountered a million times before. I mean, maybe there's a good reason for some of it. I don't know. But what I do know is there will always be something to complain about when it comes to technology. And
Yeah, no, technology. There's still there are some software, hardware, like manufacturers that did not figure out that the model that is the most optimal is the Steve Jobs model. Make it so simple that even children could use it. That's the best model. Please do that for everything.
I am always going to segue to our sponsor.
Nexigo. Prime Day may be over by now, but Nexigo's still got deals on deck until
Oh, look at those parrots. They look cool. Bro, they're out of the screen. They're coming to get you.
July 18th. Check out their 4K projectors like the powerful but portable TriVision Ultra or the
$600.
feature-rich
That's kinda
Aurora Pro at the
expensive.
lowest price since launch, both of which
Lowest price this around? Can you tell me how much?
are great solutions for those summer movies under the stars
No.
or inside your home. They've both got support for Dolby Vision and a 120 Hz refresh rate, so you'll get crisp and clear visuals. And if you want the best of the best, their top-of-the-line Aurora Pro Mark II is also on sale. And you can even
Projectors, guys. I mean, you know what projectors are good for? Football matches. If you're really into football and you want people to watch, your buddies to watch them at full, display, whatever the fuck, projectors. I have a friend back in my grandma's place. He bought himself a projector. I'm telling you, the whole city, which is kind of like a village, like the children, they come by his place in front of his thing to watch it from afar, right? Because he has like this door that is you can see through it. So the children, they're coming to watch it because it's cool.
Plus, for those going back to school or just looking to upgrade their video conferencing or basic streaming setup, it's a great
But only for football, I guess. More like sports in general.
time to pick up a HelloCam Pro
That's cool.
60 FPS webcam. Check out their sale using our link in the description. But hurry, time is running out! Ah!
Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this one, check out the last time we griped about tech. Some stuff just, man, some days.
But my friend now has a girlfriend, so I'm not gonna ever come to his place anymore. Ever. Fuck that. I don't wanna deal with that shit. Anyway, great video. Great success from Linux Tech. They know their shit. If you ever checking to buy hardware for you, or check some software bullshit, you can always check these guys. They know their bullshit. They know their bullshit. I'm just gonna say that's the reason they have so many subscribers, is because they know their shit really well. They are the most trustworthy.